everyone, this is Mike Regan here, GamingRing.com. You're here at THQ SummerSlam Superstar Smackdown vs. Raw 2010. Yep. Cory, Ledesma. Cory, how you doing today?
Fantastic. Thanks for having me.
Now, let's talk about Smackdown vs. Raw 2010, your favorite subject, obviously. So, what's new this year?
Boy, there's a lot new this year. But to make a long story short, it's really revolving around our creation suite. Our creation tools are seeing a big improvement, but not only that, we're adding to the suite with some new creation modes, some new content, and something really cool, we're having this community involvement into the content as well, which is a key factor in there. So, Creative Superstar is seeing a lot touched on there, all new parts, new customization options. We're also doing the paint tool, which I'm sure you guys have heard about quite a bit now, but that's something the fans have been asking for, something very cool. Create your own tattoos, your logos, put them on your character. Superstar Threads, another creation tool, allows you to change the color of a lot of the costumes on the superstars. And then also we're doing stuff with the creative finisher, the new diving attacks. And then the thing I'm most excited about is the story creator, the story designer. Very cool mode, and it's a very robust interface too, because there's a lot of options in there. We know our fans will be able to create crazy amounts of different content and stories, and really elaborate stories. They can write their own dialogue, they can customize their scenes, a lot of cool stuff. And the beauty behind it is all these creation items are all able to post online for the community to share. So you download them, you upload them, you can play with that content offline and online, a lot of cool stuff. So that's kind of everything in a nutshell. The tagline for this year, it's your world now, and it's really just saying that, hey, we give you the tools to create whatever you want, you guys create it, you guys share it, you guys have a blast, customize your game experience, and enjoy that.
Now, what are some of the cool storylines you've seen that was made possible with this mode?
A lot of cool stuff. I see a lot of reenactments of stories that are going on right now. I think that's some of our favorite things that we're starting to see. And even us doing our own little spin on the stories too, which is really cool. So I've seen a lot of designers do that. But then you get into, since you can use creative superstars in these stories, you get into a lot of fantasy-based ones that have really nothing to do with WWE or wrestling, and they get pretty wild and crazy. And so it's really a cool tool because you can create anything, whether it's WWE related, another federation, something totally fantasy-based. The tool is really built to allow you to do whatever you want.
Obviously, maybe a key one, maybe a reenactment of the NWO takeover, maybe you could do that.
A lot of cool stuff like that. Like you said, past stories. Even if you just want to focus on one show, if you just want to do stories related to ECW in the past, with Sabu, and if you want to do something like that, you could do that in this story mode. And also, what's really cool is that you don't have to focus on one character. I'm going to do a story about Randy Orton. You can actually do a story about everyone and just have matches for every single guy on the card, and just do a story about the WWE just constantly evolving, or what you see on the show. So there's no kind of limitations in what you do. You don't have to select, boy, I'm going to make a story about Undertaker and everything has to be related about him. It's not that restricting.
Now, about the creative superstar mode, I noticed in the screenshots they were saying there's 48 layers or 48. What does that represent? I mean, is that how many layers you can put on the character, or how many items you can put on the character?
Well, I'm not an expert on the amount of layers. I know that's a frequently asked question, and if you saw 48 on that, it's probably the layer list. I'm not 100% sure, though, so I don't want to be quoted on that. But we make sure that you have enough items to layer there, of course, because there's a lot of different content you want to add in your character, and we understand that. We want to support that. And in the past, too, when people had to create custom logos, they would apply all these different parts. Maybe that would add to the layer system as well. But with the paint tool, hopefully that alleviates some of that. You have a little more layers to work with. And then we streamline the layer system as far as the interface goes to make that a little bit easier to use. There's a preview box that shows you the actual layer and what it is. Because sometimes you would see something like, what is that again? And you wouldn't know what it was, but you actually have little preview boxes. So we made some improvements to there. Hopefully there's enough layers for the fans to be satisfied with that. Probably not. They'll probably want more, but we'll continue to work on that.
Now, in previous years, if any character had a logo anywhere on their body, they wasn't able to play online. Is that limitation still in the game, or has that been removed with the new logo editor?
The limitation has been removed. It was something that we obviously felt really strongly about removing that restriction. That's not a great way for you to express yourself online and to show your cool customization online, especially with the Paint Tool Edition. We knew we had to get rid of that so that you can express yourself completely and show your true characters that you wanted to create online. So we totally done without that restriction, and there's no limitations now to what you can put online.
Is there other uses of the logo editors? So, for example, instead of putting on a tattoo or a design on a character, could you make it